Where's that voice? Up on the house. I hope you all enjoyed that. All right, let me come on here. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing this fine evening? Ooh, I look green. Why do I look green? Let me see if I can fix that. Why do I look green? I don't want to be green. Actually, I've been green before. I'm fine with being green. There's nothing wrong with being green. But let me see if I can fix... Ah! Not that. Definitely not that. Oh, no. Wait, how do I... Can I fix this? Or am I just gonna be green? Oh, whoa. I don't know if there's a way to fix this. I can just go full magenta on you. I guess like slight greening is all that we're gonna have to do. Everyone's gonna have to deal with a slightly green Jessie here, unless you want me to go like super green. I'm having way too much fun with that. All right, sorry about that. How is everybody? Good to see everyone. Good to see you, Catherine Lambeth. Good to see you, Sarah, Alexis Edits, Gman42, Kelsey, Nevermore, Super Femi, Solstice's Sewing Corner. Good to see you, Louis Darden, Matt Rock, RGS, Tori Thompson, G-Man. Good to see you as well, Sergeant Pastry. I hope you're all doing wonderfully. Also, I'm gonna let you all know. I just have it in the background here, but actually, I'll just show you. I have, not that. I have the Game Awards kind of playing in the background just in case there's anything like super exciting that I'm like, oh, I want to react to that. I'm trying not to pay too much attention to it, but I have it on the background because I'm like, the Game Awards are going on right now. I'm like, oh, they for some crazy reason they announced like a Star Trek game, and I'll be like, I doubt they'll do it, but if they do, I have it there. So I'm not paying attention much to it, but I just have it there in case there's something like we can immediately like jump on and be like, we can all react together. But how's everyone doing this fine evening? And for those of you who don't know, let me just make the quick announcement. Yell out if there's a Breath of the Wild 2 announcement, I'll pop it on. I have, like I said, I have it ready. Like right now, I don't know what this game is, but it looks pretty cool. But they just have some random stuff playing right now. Some world premiere stuff. They announced a cool Star Wars game earlier from Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream kind of being but the game looked cool. I hope David Cage isn't writing it because that's a whole other thing. Anyways, regardless of that, I do want to say hello to everybody. I just said hi. For those of you who don't know, this is my weekly chat stream. So for about an hour or so, I just hang out with everybody. I talk about whatever any of you want to talk about. And obviously just react to anything that you have going on. And if you want to ask questions about me, I just sort of talk about whatever you want to talk about. So just let me know. Just shout it out in the chat. If you give super chats, I do give you a heart and a thank you because super chats do help me pay the bills. And I'm able to eat food and survive that way. But beyond that, I just hang out and talk about whatever you all want to talk about. So I did already see. By the way, Louis. Apologies, Louis Darden. Apologies if I said your name wrong, because you said that's not my name. So apologies if I did say that wrong. Right, Kelsey? I want a new Star Trek game so bad, like so badly. Like I need it. I need it right now. I need like a Mass Effect type Star Trek game, like really, really bad. Let's see. Oh, one second. Let me just quick see something real quick. Thank you so much. I'll check that out. Jedi Indiana Jones. I'll check that out what you were talking about in the in the mod squad in a little bit. But thank you, I appreciate it. I've been busy all day, so I haven't had a chance to look. But I do want to react quickly. So Edward Bedor, I'm gonna close the Game Awards because it's distracting me, and I want to make sure I'm focused on everyone. Edward Bedor, heart to you. Thank you so much for your first super chat. You said, me, it's snowing in space. The doctor, actually, it's Ash. Me, shut up, the doc. Oh gosh, dark. I mean, after the flux, it kind of feels like there would be a lot of ash in space. And yes, I did see that. Edward Bedor, your second super chat, heart to you. They did announce that. That's actually probably my favorite thing that I'm most excited for. They announced Edward that they're, for those of you who don't know, Telltale Games, which not the old Telltale, which was kind of problematic, but Telltale Games announced that they're going to be doing a new a new Telltale game. So Telltale Games closed. They were very problematic. They did like a whole thing on not paying their workers, firing workers at the last minute, that sort of thing. So the old Telltale, bad. But there's a new Telltale, like, using the name, but I think it's a completely different company. They just announced that they're doing a new game based on The Expanse, starring the Belter character. What am I blanking on? Drummer, starring Drummer. And they got the actress from the show to play Drummer. And I'm so pumped about that. Like, an Expanse game, like an Expanse story game starring, like, Drummer, who is, like, my polyamorous favorite character. I love her so much. Hell yes. I am so freaking pumped for that. So excited for that. And thank you, Jeff Sturm. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching my videos. Heart to you, my new friend. And Adrian, heart to you. I did get your message on your sexuality. I will message you back about that. I've just been busy and haven't had a chance to react to it, but I did see it. We're not going to talk about it here, but yes, I will respond to that message. I just haven't had the time, but I did see it, Adrian. And heart to you, Sarah. Thank you so much for your super chat. You said, what's your favorite holiday film? I think I answered this last week, Sarah. It was Miracle on 34th Street. Miracle on 34th Street is easily my favorite superhero movie. I mean, I guess it's kind of a superhero movie, holiday movie, because it kind of has that, like, what's the best way to put it? Like, it's sentimental and sweet. It has, like, really good performances. It's, like, anti-capitalist. Also, I got suddenly greener. I, like, put up my thing so I can, like, keep track of the chat stats. And I suddenly got greener, which is weird. Anyways, but yeah, no, Miracle on 34th Street. I think it's bothering me. It's bothering me how weirdly green I am. Like, I don't know why I'm so green. Is that better? That's better. Okay, that's weird. Though I look like pale now, but I guess that's more true to life, to be honest. But because I am fairly pale. But yeah, no, Miracle on 34th Street, I think, is, like, such a sweet, sentimental film. It's, like, anti-capitalist, too, even though it is, like, aggrandizing of Macy's. And, like, we can buy it, but it is, like, very much, like, screw you. Like, the real source of Christmas is about, like, finding loved ones. And then also, it also ends in, like, a trial. And I always love, like, for some reason, like, my logic brain just loves, like, trial movies. And so the fact that it, like, comes down to, like, a big trial scene, I think is absolutely wonderful. So I think that it's I don't know. I think it's just probably the sweetest movie. I really, really do. But Miss Wicked Wolf, you say, am I the green one? Prefer Rudolph or Frosty? I think Rudolph is, like, sweeter for me, and I always kind of like the underdog narrative as opposed to Frosty being, like, this creepy guy who just shows up and is like, kids, I'm gonna come with me, which always seemed creepy to me. Like, Frosty, I mean, I know, I don't mean to, like, imply that there's, like, darker undertones to that, but, like, Frosty always creeped me out a little bit, whereas Rudolph, I always loved, like, the Abominable Snowman was adorable, and the elf dentist, like, the elf who just wants to be a dentist, I'm like, yes, forge your own path, don't let people tell you who to be. Like, that whole Island of Misfit Toy stuff, like, legitimately, I think that there's, like, some really cool resonance with the Rudolph story that I always, like, hit upon. And so I always liked Rudolph. And heart to you, Sean. Thank you so much for your super chat. You said, what are your thoughts on Babylon 5? Freaking fantastic. So, oh, shit. I will hint to it, but I won't officially announce it, but it'll be fine. I doubt she'll be terribly upset. So for those of you who know, I do a Farscape rewatch podcast with Council of Geeks, and we are looking for another show to do. Let's just say Babylon 5's on the list, and I'll leave it there. But Babylon 5, I have not watched it in forever. I watched it. I have all the DVDs still of every single season in the other room, but I have not watched it all the way through since I was in high school, I think. I don't think I've watched it since high school, so it's been at least 10 years since I've watched Babylon 5. So I'm excited to possibly rewatch it in the future. And And so I'm curious to like have my memory refreshed on it, but I remember loving it. Like Garibaldi was great. I remember him being one of my favorite characters in that show. Londo also, like, easily. Jakar, like freaking Jakar, like Jakar is top 10. Like Delenn as well. Like that show is just littered with really good characters. Then obviously it's like full of space politics, which if you know me, I love my space politics. So all that stuff I think is just really, really great. Yeah, it's a truly fantastic show. I may be rewatching it episode by episode in the near future and putting it out on the webs. If you want my thoughts on each individual episode, that'll be coming maybe, possibly, maybe. I'm not saying anything, possibly soon. So yeah, Babylon 5, fantastic, and I really love it. So there you go. And then let's see. Chloe, thank you so much for your super chat. Heart to you, lovely. You're wonderful. I should go light on donations since I'm still recovering from buying a Laserdisc player this last month. A Pioneer CLD D7702, but I'll be fine. Enjoy the $10. Well, first off, thank you so much for the super chats. Please, as I've always said, if you are doing super chats, take care of yourself first. I appreciate the super chats. They do help me out, and they are very much appreciated. But I always, from Patreon to Super Chats to whatever, want you to take care of yourself first. So do not support me if you're not able to support yourself first. So I appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me, and I do appreciate everyone who supports me in any way, shape, or form. But I much rather want you to support yourself first. I come not even second. I should come like way towards the back of the line. But I am appreciative of when you can give, and I do appreciate Chloe giving that. That does really mean a lot to me. That being said, that's awesome. Buying a Laserdisc player. That I love, like, that retro technology. I want to buy like a CRT TV to like have in the background of some of my videos. I have my mother has been clearing out like her basement and attic over the past like few months. So I've been getting like these weird sporadic boxes of a bunch of random stuff that she's like, here, I don't want your crap anymore, take it. And so she sent me like, I think like 30 or 40 different Star Trek VHS tapes. Like, remember they had the like Star Trek episodes on VHS tape where you just get like one episode per tape, and she sent me like a whole bunch of those. So I kind of want to just have like a CRTV that I can like not only put those VHS tapes on, but like video game stuff, like just have like a cool little background element that I can like put like even modern stuff on, or like do some fun stuff with, maybe even like horror-y stuff with it. I think it'd be kind of fun. So we'll see if that if I'm able to do that at some point. But just speaking to your Laserdisc stuff, that's really cool. I love that sort of like retro technology. Also, apologies if I'm like keep poking my nose here. I've been getting a deep clean on my teeth this past week, so they've been like doing like deep cleaning stuff, and they have to like inject with Novocaine at the dentist. Or not Novocaine, whatever the stuff to numb your mouth. Maybe it is Novocaine, but they have to like numb your mouth up. It's a big pain. But yesterday they did it, and they like injected it up here in my mouth. And when they did that, I could feel it in my nose. And ever since they've done that, like my nose has felt like weird, because I feel like they poked through it or something. I've just like been like, my nose has been running the past few days. So apologies to like this whole stream. I'm like poking my nose. I'm like trying to like not sneeze in front of you. I've been sneezing all day because of it. So apologies on that. If it's your nose, if you don't poke it, who will? I know people who poke nose. I poke people's nose consensually, obviously, like friends and people that I know. But I'll be like poke people in the nose. I'm one of those people. A little less so now, post-pandemic, but there you go. Let's see. I'm just checking up on. I know I'm missing a few super chats, so just to make sure I didn't miss anything up there. Jessica Walls, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. Oh, and that other Ted, you've been watching the Farscape podcast. Gay, I'm glad you like it. You said, hi, Jessie, here's some money to buy yourself a festive drink. Speaking of which, what is your holiday drink of choice? Eggnog. Easy. Period. Not even a question. I love eggnog. The creamier, the better. Like, I love a really good creamy eggnog. And I will say, this is all Vera, Council of Geeks, my friend Vera Wild, who does Council of Geeks. She introduced me to doing eggnog, but you put in maple rum. Best thing ever. Last year, she sent me a bottle of maple rum, and I put it in eggnog, and it was the literal best thing ever. Also, this is more of a fallish type of drink, but I do like apple cider, like warmed apple cider with like a cinnamon stick in it. That's more of a fall drink than a festive drink, but I like hot apple cider, like a good cinnamon stick in it. Mwah. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely wonderful. Heart to you, Sean. Thank you so much again for giving another super chat. I appreciate you. You said, thank you for your response. Here's another one. Have you heard of a game called Stellaris? I've heard of it. I don't know much about it. I know I've heard the name, possibly on these streams before. Oh, yes. Yes, it's like the board game kind of thing where like you can like, it's not a board game, but you can like build out ships and send them out. I feel like I would love this type of game. I haven't done, here's the thing. I have not gotten into like I love real-time strategy board games. I like the Game of Thrones board game. If anyone hasn't played the Game of Thrones board game, one of my favorite board games of all time. A lot of awesome strategy. And I love good strategy board games and video games, but I just don't have the time to like get into like big games like Civilization or stuff like that anymore. So I feel like I love them, but I have not played a lot of them yet. So I'm going to save this because I'm actually going to have 2 weeks over Christmas time. Because I'm just like not traveling for Christmas. I'm just going to be hanging out on my own. And I'm kind of hoping to like just catch up on stuff. Like some video games and TV shows and movies that I'm behind on. So that actually might be a good game to check out during that time. Like I'm planning on playing Halo Infinite this weekend for live stream. Like I have, what's my list? I have like a list of games that I want to play. Still, let me put it on here. Because there's like a few games that I really want to play over the next few weeks. Like I have the list here in case anyone's interested. Like Solar Ash I want to play, Halo Infinite, Stellaris I want to play, Before Your Eyes I want to play as well. So there's a few that I'm kind of looking forward to. So yeah, thank you for reminding me that. I added it to my list because I will check it out. And Adrian, heart to you. Not sure I can watch Die Hard this year. All cops are bad. I mean that is one of the hard thing. I totally understand you, Adrian, and that's something that like I've been trying to be more cognizant of lately, like propaganda in media. And there's a great, I forget which YouTuber. There was a YouTuber who did a. If anyone remembers, can you please put it in the chat? But there was a really great YouTuber who's doing a series on propaganda in media. And he does such a good job, like, breaking down, like, the issues with propaganda. And sorry, I see so many super chats, so I will catch up on them, but I'll be really quick about this one. Like, I think it's okay, like, with Die Hard and movies that do feature cops as, like, the hero character, we can understand that they're problematic and still enjoy them. I think it's something that we need to be aware of going forward and also, like, confront ourselves in a lot of our media. You look at something like, I don't know, like Blue Bloods or things like that, where it's like very clearly like extolling police as a organization, or like the things like Die Hard, where it's like one good cop can beat the bad guys if he just wasn't held back by all these things like rights or legality or whatever. Obviously, those are super problematic themes. But you can still enjoy the things that you like. If it's something that makes you uncomfortable, for sure. Like I like for me, I can't really. I very much like to listen to Harry Potter and things like that. But obviously, because J.K. Rowling's a jerk, it's just hard for me to listen to those things anymore, and also not point out the problems within Harry Potter, like the goblins being like Jewish stereotypes, for example. And it just makes me uncomfortable now. And it's like that I can't listen to it as much as I used to, or like appreciate that franchise. So it's kind of always the balance, right? I think it's okay to appreciate media that you enjoy while also recognizing that it does have problematic elements. And I think if you want to watch Die Hard, go and watch Die Hard. It's a great movie. It's a fun movie. Just understand like the propaganda elements of it, for sure. But if it's also something you're watching, you're like, with knowing what I know now and understanding the problems inherent with this, I'm just not comfortable with anymore, that's fair too. It can be a sad thing, and it can be a sad process. There's certainly things where I'm like, I wish I could enjoy this, but now I can't because of like transphobia or other things, like not even just Harry Potter, but other things. I think it's a complicated relationship, and honestly, we should be having that evolving relationship with media and things that we love. Things move forward, art moves forward, art changes context over time, and that's part of it. And I think that that's a good thing generally, that our relationship to art when we come into it changes. And so I think that that is totally a worthwhile thing to discuss. So thank you for bringing that up, Adrian. All right, I'm gonna catch up because so many of you are giving so many wonderful super chats, so I need to catch up. I apologize. RoboCop's politics are still great. Die Hard's politics may not be great, but I see people talking RoboCop. RoboCop did RoboCop's good one. Jess, Louis Man Gaming, Jack St. did do a good propaganda storyline, but it wasn't him. Propaganda that I was talking about, but Jack St. does have a good propaganda video. I think he did 2 videos. Skip Intro, that's who it was. Skip Intro did a really, really good, I think it still has a really good ongoing series about propaganda. So go check out Skip Intro's YouTube channel, because he has like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 or 6 different. Thank you, Black Cover 95 got it too, and James O. Sorry, I see people catching it. So yeah, those are the ones that I was mentioning. But also Jack Saint's video is really good too. Let's see. Edward Beador, heart to you. You said, Jessie, take care of yourself first. Me, too late. The super chats must flow. The super chats must flow. Well, thank you. I'm catching up on them now, but everyone, thank you so much for your super chats. They really do mean a lot, and I really appreciate them. Thank you so much. They really do help. But again, as I said to Chloe before, take care of yourself first. And Chloe, speaking of which, Chloe, heart to you. You said mainly joking about my money. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Again, as always the case, I'll just reiterate here. Your super chats are appreciated. I do appreciate them very much. Always take care of yourself first. Always. I do not want to see, if anyone gives a super chat, I've even like on my page, I don't want to grandize myself. The point that I'm making is take care of yourself first. I will give back your money if you give me money and you say like, oh, I don't have enough, can't cover my bills or whatever, but here's something. Don't give me your money. I don't want it. I want you to spend it on yourself. But I do, every single one of you who do send super chats, I do appreciate it. So I just want to reiterate that, because I've had people do that, and I appreciate it, and you have no idea how much it means to me that people would give money to me when it's something they have very little of. That is extremely touching, and I'm honored by that. But I do not want it if it's going to cause you undue distress. So that's just to reiterate that. Hard to you, Mac the Knife. You said, I've been watching Once Upon a Time because I grew up with it, and that show is freaking convoluted and bonkers, and I love it, but it may be garbage. Also, old or new Miracle on 34th Street. The old one. I like watching the old one that used to be black. I watched the colorized version of the Miracle on 34th Street movie, but it's the one that it was black and white, but they did colorize, and I usually watch the colorized version. But I do watch the old one. But yes, I never watched Once Upon a Time. I think the only reason I do want to watch Once Upon a Time at some point, I know it's like a weird mess of a show, but I almost want to watch it just for the actor who plays Rumpelstiltskin, whose name I'm blanking on. Maybe people in the chat will catch it for me. I need to have 2 chat windows up so I can catch up on what's stuff. But if you the actor who played, he was in Stargate Universe, and he's fantastic. Yeah, I feel old too. I grew up with Once Upon a Time a little. I was still in high school when Once Upon a Time was growing up. Robert Carlyle, thank you, Tarsan. I apologize if I said your name wrong, but Robert Carlyle is great. He's fantastic, and he's in other things too, obviously, I know. But where my brain always like associates Robert Carlyle with is Stargate Universe for some reason, because he was easily the best part about that show. Like, Robert Carlyle is by far the best part of Stargate Universe. I actually like Stargate Universe. I'm a weirdo, and Eli's also great in Stargate Universe, but I'm a weirdo who likes Stargate Universe. I think it's an underappreciated show. Definitely picked up in season 2. But yes, but I have not actually seen Once Upon a Time. It is also like Disney, speaking of problematic media. But yeah, I think it's both. There's always fun to be had in like those bonker shows that you watch it, you're like, this show is weird. T. Gowan, heart to you. Thank you so much. How's it going to you, my friend? Thank you so much for your super chat. Let's see. Vale. Oh, Vale, good to see you. Sending you love to you and Corey. You said, hi, Jessie. I hope you're doing well. Just wanted to once again give you some hearts. We love you and wish you good things from Corey, too. Yes, heart to you. Mwah, 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 mwah. You're absolutely wonderful. I adore you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Vale. And then, let's see. Heart, thank you so much, Chloe. Thank you again. Also, I finally got into Lower Decks. Huzzah! Yes! Thank you. That is, yes, it always makes me happy. It always makes me happy when I hear I converted someone else into Lower Decks. So, yay, that's awesome, Chloe. Thank you. Ooh. Cappuccino Craft says either an eggnog latte or spiked. Like, those are, yeah, spiked lattes. They're good. They're very good. Heart to you, Catherine Lambeth. Here's some eggnog money. I appreciate you. Mwah. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Also, I don't have it here. Jedi Indiana Jones. I just wanted to say, I got your last gift, the bar of soap, which was hilarious. The Star Trek bar of soap. Absolutely wonderful. So if that was from, I'm assuming it was from you, Carmen. But let me know if it was not, but I got that. I meant to have it in the room, but it's in the other room right now, so apologies. But I did get it, and thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to use it. It was very funny. Adrian, hard to you, thank you so much. You said, have you considered veganism? Not really. I have no judgment against veganism. I actually think it's a really, if for people who do it for moral reasons, for like trying to stop against the meat industry, totally understand. Totally agree. I do think there's some overblownness of some people who like, I'm vegan and you're an awful person if you're not a vegan, but people do that with everything sometimes gets overblown. So veganism, I totally understand why people do it. For me, I just enjoy meat too much. Like, I couldn't be a vegan. I just like meat too much. Like, the more things that have died to sustain me, the better, because I survive solely on souls. You see, the more souls that I can absorb into my body is how I sustain myself. No, but just kidding. Like legitimately, I do think that there's what was I trying to think? What was I trying to get? I just like meat. I just like meat, so I don't think I could ever be a vegan. But again, nothing against veganism at all. I think it's a good idea, to be honest. Let's see. Heart to you, Cadence. Thank you so much for your super chat. You said, super glad you're live. Had a really great day today with lots of firsts, and Jesse's stream is the perfect end. Yay! Congratulations. I hope you had a wonderful day. Mwah! It was so good. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you so much, Candace. Apologies if I said that wrong, but thank you so much. It's so good to have you here. Let's see. Are we donning our gay apparel? Actually, yes. I'm surprised. I feel bad because it's actually right here. I should put this on. I forgot I have my... One second. Let me put this on. I forgot I have my Christmas hat. Put on the Christmas hat. Let's don our gay apparel. This is not the gayest of apparel, but it is gay. There we go. I forgot. I meant to put that on at the beginning of the stream. Well, there we go. That works. There we are. All right. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to have my music on in the background. Let me put the music on in the background. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's see. What else do we got going on here? Punk rock zoologist, good to see you, my friend. You said eggnog is the best. I'm going to try and make some this Xmas with some nice, Mauritian rum. Use the recipe from Cocktail Time with Cat. Ooh, that sounds really good, punk rock zoologist. Also, thank you for the super chat. If only you could send me that. I wish you could like send me drinks in the mail. It doesn't really work very hard, but. Andrew Clegg, heart to you. Thank you so much to your super chat. This is the first of these chats since I'm officially retired, so I'm buying tonight. I'm having salmon and white wine, but I'm confident you're more adventurous. Order something for yourself tonight. On me. Oh, thank you so much, Andrew. I appreciate that. Congratulations on being retired. That's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely. Congratulations. Heading into 2022, getting on that retirement train. That's absolutely wonderful. Congratulations. I will use that. I won't use it tonight because I have my improv class right after this, because right after I finish this stream, I'm going to be running to my improv class. But I will buy myself a nice sushi meal tomorrow night because I usually do my sushi on Friday evening. So thank you so much, Andrew. You bought my sushi dinner tomorrow night. Mwah. Thank you very much, my friend. Heart to you, Sean. Thank you so much. Not a board game, but a PC game that runs on Steam. Yeah, no. I knew it when I was talking about Stellaris. I knew it was a game, but it is like it looks like a strategy type game, and so I was sort of relating it to my love of board games. But yes, I added it to my list. I will check out Stellaris. But yeah, no, I knew it wasn't a board game. I knew it was more of a PC game, but it was just one that I was relating to my love of board games. So. G-Man 42, heart to you. I stopped myself because you sent me a message to just say G-Man, but I keep saying 42 because I see it. But you said, if I had to pick a sci-fi show, if you had to pick a sci-fi show or universe to live in, which would you pick? G-Man. G-Man. Do you even have... Is that even a question with me? Is that even a question? Is that... I am honestly hurt. I appreciate the super chat. I am honestly hurt that you even have to ask that. Of course it's the alien universe. I want to live in a horrible hellscape of capitalism with the xenomorph. Like, come on, that's clearly the best universe. Of course not. No. Of course, the answer to that question is most definitely Star Trek. Like, the Star Trek universe. Like, that's not even... Like, it's not even, like, an easy... it's obviously The Expanse. Yes, Sergeant Pastry. Yeah, another capitalist hellscape. Well, it's less of a capitalist hellscape, but a hellscape of another sort. A political hellscape, to be sure. But, yeah, no. Of course it's Star Trek. Like, of course I want to live in the Star Trek universe. Because that one's, like, one where I feel like being an everyday citizen is actually cool to be. You know, like even Starfleet honestly seems like the most dangerous life in that world, but everyone else is like, hey, you want to like make a restaurant, make a restaurant in New Orleans and like just live there like cooking like food and have no customers, but still just do it. Well, here you go, do it, live your life. I'm like, sure, sweet, yeah. That's easily the choice. Like if you live in like the Marvel universe, like an everyday citizen in the Marvel universe, it sucks. Yeah, I'm sure your insurance rates if you like live in the city or something are through the I mean, if you live anywhere, just living on planet Earth will probably be like ridiculously dangerous in the Marvel universe. So like, no. So yeah, Star Trek easily, not even a question. But I appreciate the question, G-Man. But yes, no. Let's see. Tasana, apologies if I said that wrong, but hard to you said Merry Holidays from Yorkshire, England. Well, happy holidays to you, my friend, as well. And I don't know if it's still Hanukkah, but to our Jewish friends who are, my Jewish friends who are celebrating Hanukkah or have just celebrated Hanukkah, apologies. I don't know the exact dates of it. I know it was going on a little bit ago. I think it might still be going on. Apologies if I don't know. But to Jewish friends who are celebrating Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah to you as well. And to anyone else celebrating any other type of holiday that is going on. Again, I'm an idiot and don't know what's going on. So Hanukkah's over. Thank you, Black Cover 95. See, I don't know. I'm an idiot. I barely even pay attention. To like, you know, to Christmas in terms of like it, I don't know, religious sense. I'm not a religious person. Nothing against anyone who's like on an individual religious level. Obviously, some issues with organized religion for various different reasons. But for anyone who celebrates anything right now, I send you love. Let's see. Oh, and hello. Who was that there? Brett. Brett just said, I just found you yesterday from Verily Bitchy's Earthsea video. Well, heart to you. Welcome, Brett, to the community. It's good to see you. And I love Verily Bitchy's Earthsea video. And I'm assuming you probably found my my Earthsea video as well. And Black Cover, I did see Squid Game. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yes, Squid Game. Hell yes. Let me just catch up on Super Chats here. I saw someone mentioned, check out Renegade Cut essay on Home Alone Stand Your Ground laws. Yes, no, I did. Renegade Cut, I've literally seen every Renegade Cut video. So that's a good one. Speaking of which, let's see. Edward Bedor, heart to you. You said, I feel with Die Hard we can give it a pass. The first thing McClane does is run away and calls for help multiple times. When the proper police and FBI show up, they mark this making the situation worse. That is true. That is true. I would still say there's probably still a little bit of that element of like, hey, if one it's kind of like that Dirty Harry sort of thing of like if one cop could just do if he got the support he needed and could just go around killing people whenever he wanted, and the actual police were mired down by bureaucracy, they could actually get stuff done. Like that sort of like propaganda. It's a little less explicit in Die Hard as it is in something like Dirty Harry, but I still think there's an element of it there. So I you know, it's kind of a balancing act, but that being said, Die Hard is a fantastic movie, so like you weigh it. So there you go. Sorry, I'm getting messages from a friend just messaging me about the Game Awards stuff. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not watching the Game Awards right now. But I apologize because yeah, a friend of mine just messaged me about it. So let me just put that down. Heart to you, Solace's Sewing Corner. Heart to you. Just wanted to say thank you as someone who is autistic and questioning the gender identity. Your channel always makes me feel better. Your Earthsea video always hits me in the feels, and I've shown it to a few friends when they question when I get upset when they use my old name. Oh well, Solace, I'm really pleased. I'm number one about the Earthsea video. I'm really glad that helped. That the whole point of the Earthsea video is to talk about like exactly what you said, like why names to trans people are so important, and names to anybody, because it means that we're being seen. Like, names hold power over us because they mean that we are being seen. Our true selves are being seen. And I thought Earthsea, I think, reflected that as a series, reflected that idea in such a beautifully evocative way, and a way that always resonated with me. Not just about names, but also like transitional identities and naming identities and things like that. And so I'm really happy that the Earthsea did that for you. Like I guess people have just been finding that Earthsea video lately, which makes me very, very happy, because that's a video that I feel like did not do super well in the algorithm. It did decently, it did okay, but it didn't get a ton of pickup in the algorithm, and I was a little bit disappointed by that because that was a video that was very personal to me. I mean, I obviously spoke about trigger warning here. I won't go too far into it, but I did speak about it about my suicidal thoughts and things like that I had in my life. And so it was a very personal video, and I'm very pleased that it is being helpful and stuff like that. So yeah, I do appreciate that. So Solus, I appreciate that. And yes, being autistic and gender identity, I still am. I'm hoping, I have not written it yet because I'm still working on a few other videos, but I do plan on doing a video more directly, just like specifically about autism and gender identity and the connection between the two in the near future. So if you want me to discuss that more, that'll definitely be there. But obviously, I'll always be talking about autism and gender identity, both separately and together. So I'm pleased that that is. I'm pleased that you're able to feel seen here, because I see you. You are absolutely wonderful, Solace. And then I see people in the chat talking about the Sonic trailer. I saw this. So for those who don't know, they released the Sonic 2 trailer in the Game Awards, and I'll just put my thoughts out right here. I'm very excited for that. Yes, we get Tails flying the freaking tornado from Sonic Adventure and other places. But like, what I loved about that trailer is like, I was not a big fan of the first Sonic movie. It reeked of that, like there were elements, like, don't get me wrong, like, Ben Schwartz was a lot of fun, Sonic, I think they did pretty well, and Jim Carrey was a lot of fun as well, but I did not love that movie because it reeked of that Hollywood, like, cynicism thing where it's like, we'll take the characters that people love, and we'll water them down, and then we'll have them be in our world, and how weird and wacky will that be? And it's like stuff you see, like, there's so, whenever they do, like, tie-in media, like, whenever they do adaptations of video games or media, like, Transformers kind of did this too, and a few other things, like, because they don't know how to, like, make a movie out of these properties, they're just like, well, they're just in our world now. How weird is that? And it always kind of reeks as kind of boring and dull to me and, like, lazy. And that's what the Sonic movie, and also the product placement in that movie was atrocious. Like, Zillow and Olive Garden stuff was frustrating. So, you know, it was better than it had any right to be, but I was more disappointed because it's like, that's not Sonic. What I like about the Sonic stuff is it's crazy. Like, the Sonic games and world is really, really out there. And I also think the most salient Sonic story is, like, environmentalism, like, an environmentalist message. Like, if you watch those old cartoons that I really, really love, like, Sonic was a what do you call it? An environmental terrorist. That's what he was against Robotnik. Like, Sonic was an environmental terrorist. Smurfs did the same thing. He-Man did the same thing. Exactly, the Man Gaming. But yeah, no, so it was just it was just had that sort of, like, lame idea to it. And looking at the Sonic 2 trailer, it still has an element of that, but it looks like they're just going full on out with, like, Jim Carrey being out there, Idris Elba, Knuckles. I never thought I could be attracted to Knuckles, but Idris Elba's voice anything, and I'll be attracted to it. Sounds weirder than I anticipated, but yeah, no, Idris Elba Knuckles is great. Get the actual actor who plays Tails in the games to voice the Tails in the movie. Like, Sonic 2 looks like it's, like, I don't know how amazing, I don't know if it'll be, like, great, but, like, legitimately, I do think that it will be a solid movie. I'm actually kind of excited for it. Now just give me Amy Rose, right? Give me my Amy Rose. Give me Big the Cat. Give me Big the Cat. Everyone's talking about the Olive Garden references in that movie. So many Olive Garden references. Yeah, Detective Pikachu was a movie. Someone said, who said that? Nevermore. Like, Detective Pikachu was a movie that, like, actually used the source material, like, to great effect, and, like, did its own thing to great effect. And I thought that was absolutely, that's what made Detective Pikachu, I think, a really great movie. It didn't, like, knock my socks off, but there we go. Let's see, catching up on some more super chats here. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh shoot, my chat thing won't let me scroll back up. So if anyone missed super chat, I apologize. I'm catching up at Andrew Clagg's super chat, so if I missed anyone's super chat, I apologize. My literal live stream chat is not letting me even scroll up any further. So I do apologize if I missed a super chat or two in there. I think I'm mostly caught up on them. I hopefully didn't miss too many of them, but if I did miss one or two, I do apologize. But let me try and catch up so I don't miss any more. Andrew Clegg, heart to you. Thank you so much for your super chat. You said, there's been talk about a new Firefly. Would you prefer a reboot with new cast, continuation, bringing back the good cast, good cast crew, or just let it die? I could see arguments for both. I feel like my preference would be to bring back the old cast, but the problem with that is there's a little bit of a taint, just because of Joss Whedon, so I wouldn't want him involved. But I do feel like you could bring back that cast one more time. But then again, I do feel like their storyline kind of ended with the movie, and I think that that's like a decent resolution to those characters that I actually kind of enjoyed. So I actually wouldn't mind like a new cast. I could see there's sometimes I have strong feelings about that. This is one I could honestly see an argument for either way. I feel like my only stipulation is I would not want Joss Whedon involved. Other than that, I would not be against seeing Nathan Fillion and crew come back. I mean, they're definitely older now, but I think that there's still a good. I would still love to see that cast come back. Like, get all of them to come back to do this. But that being said, I do think that you could like Adam Baldwin. Well, Adam Baldwin's kind of problematic now too. But Summer Glau as well, obviously. It would be interesting to see that. But I wouldn't be against a new reboot. I mean, Cowboy Bebop, the live action version, just made me want a more Firefly. Watching that, I'm like, oh, I would love to see more Firefly, because clearly Firefly was influenced by the original anime. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's an interesting question. Usually I have strong opinions on that, but thinking about it, it's like I could honestly see it going either way. It would just depend on more who they cast, and my only big stipulation is no Joss Whedon. As long as Joss Whedon's not doing it, I could see an argument for doing it either way. So, heart to you, Sarah. Thank you so much for your super chat. Loving Robert Carlyle. Have you seen Full Monty? I have not. I've heard of Full Monty, obviously, but that's like one of those ones that's like, I've heard of it. No, oh yeah, this is a British comedy film. Yeah. Oh, I'll write that down. That's definitely going to go on my list, because I love British comedy films. Like, let's see, Full Monty. Because I've heard of this movie, and I just keep not watching it, so I definitely know that movie, but I have not seen it. But yeah, Robert Carlyle, great actor. He's been in other things too. Like I think people said Trainspotting earlier. Like he's great in Trainspotting, obviously. 28 Weeks Later, that's the other one. 28 Weeks Later is also a solid film. I knew I was thinking of something with him. So yeah, no, he's a great actor, very underrated. Alex Miller, heart to you. You said, hey, Jessie, love seeing Burnham own her Navari citizenship last episode. Yes, keeping it quick, because I'm not going to do spoilers for Star Trek Discovery, because I know not everyone in the world is able to catch up, and also it just aired yesterday, so it just aired today, so there's people who are in other countries that can't talk about it until Friday, so not going to do any spoilers here, but yes, I agree with you. It was nice to see Burnham like really step into her own as a Navari citizen, and that was like a nice like call out to like her history, and I like when their history like the character's history plays into it, and that they're not, while Star Trek Discovery has had a soft reboot of sorts with season 3, it does not ignore the past of the show, which I appreciate, because that's something that some shows tend to do when they do a soft reboot. They tend to be like, yeah, we won't really reference everything that happened in seasons 1 and 2. We'll just sort of like forget that was there. But Star Trek Discovery is very much like, no, those things still matter. So I really appreciate that. So that is true. But I'll sort of end it there, because I don't want to spoil too much about that. But Adrian, heart to you. Thank you so much again for your super chat. You said, hype for Orville Season 3. Yes. As I've always said, I've said this numerous times on different streams, but I like the Orville. There's always this, tends to be this, like, it's gone away a little bit because the Orville hasn't been on the air for a while, but I'm sure it'll come back once Orville Season 3 starts. There tends to be this dichotomy created by, like, the anti-SJW types that, like, Orville, it's like Orville versus modern Star Trek, and oh, look how great the new Orville is compared to like old Star Trek, and it's very much like them nostalgizing the past, because the Orville is created by not only Seth MacFarlane but like Brandon Braga and a lot of other Star Trek alums. So like, oh, this is the Star Trek we want, and I don't think it needs to fall into that dichotomy ever. Like, I can enjoy modern Star Trek and the risks that it takes and the things that it does, but also bounce off of Star Trek, but also enjoy the Orville for what it is. I do think that the Orville is not as... I think the Orville is probably more consistently okay to good than Star Trek Discovery is and other modern Star Treks, but I think Star Trek actually goes above and beyond more. I think modern Star Trek hits higher, even though it'll often like whiff it even more. And I appreciate that the franchise that I love so much is taking big swings and hitting with it, because that often the opposite is the case. You'll see with a lot of modern franchises, they'll play it safe, and it's the things it'll be the animated parts of the franchise or things outside the franchise that are really pushing the medium forward. You see that with like Star Wars, for example. Star Wars movies kind of for the most part played it safe, whereas the animated stuff ancillary to Star Wars, that's where they really took big swings, and now that's becoming part of the main storyline. Where here it's kind of the opposite. The Orville is kind of the playing it safe story. Like, it feels just like Next Generation Voyager type stories, which I enjoy. I'm not knocking that. I like it, and it's very enjoyable. But it's not necessarily revelatory in terms of, like, what it's doing with the storytelling medium. That being said, and I think modern Star Trek is doing more of that. But I do think Orville is more consistently solid sometimes. That being said, I have heard stories that they're going to try and do, like, a more serialized take for Season 3 of Orville, which I'm like, I'm excited. I'm curious. You piqued my interest. So yes, either way, I'm excited for Orville Season 3. But we'll see how it goes. But I am very excited for it. Carlisle the Cinephile, heart to you. You said my roommate and I just got a new kitty named Dave. He asked me to tell you Newt says he says hi. Oh, Newt says hi to Dave. Well, I'm sure he will. He's in my room sleeping on my bed. Last I checked, he might be up and about now. But when I started the stream, he was up and about. Or he was sleeping on my bed, but he might be up and about now. So, all right, catching up real quick. I think that might be. There's a few more super chats here. Let's see. Kestra Davis, heart to you. You said, "Hey Jessie, I have a job interview coming up. I'm nervous because my first time interviewing as a woman. So any encouragement would be great." Kestra, you're gonna kick butt. You're going to do freaking amazing, and you are going to nail it. Let me look at the camera. I'm looking at my own image, but I'm looking at the camera. Kestra, you are going to kick butt, and I absolutely believe in you. I absolutely believe that you are going to knock it out of the park. And don't be nervous. What you should know is you going in to that interview as a woman, you are showing them that you should be more confident with that, because it's like, look, I'm going in as myself. I'm going in as the truest form of myself to get that interview, and I can come in with a confidence in not only my ability, but my identity. And just know that you are kick butt, and it is on them. Basically, go in with this mindset. They need to prove to you why you should work for them. Why should someone as awesome as you work for this company? They go in with that mindset. Obviously, I know paying the bills and all that stuff is necessary, but like, you should be thinking when you go into that interview, how do I prove to them like I have the confidence to like do this job, because you can do this job. You will kick butt at that job. You will. 100%. I have zero doubt of whatever the job is, you're going to kick butt at it if you get it. Just show them that. And I think going in with a confidence in your identity will help that. So just know going into that interview, like, you are you, and just be confident in that. Because you should be. Because you are awesome. And you are going to kick butt. So I hope that helps, Kestra. Just keep that in mind. So sending you love. Edward Bedor, heart to you. You said, oh no, I want to go to Olive Garden. My sister worked at Olive Garden, so I know some stories from Olive Garden. So I'm a little less enamored with Olive Garden, but I do enjoy the breadsticks. She would always come home with breadsticks, and let's just say I ate way too many Olive Garden breadsticks, and I'm not like, that's one thing I was like, I could eat endless amounts of Olive Garden breadsticks, and they know it. So there you go. Right? Louis Man Gaming says, Sonic the Hedgehog is about a blue eco-terrorist who fights fascism and capitalism and saves the animals and the environment. Yeah, that's Sonic. I'm not even kidding. Like, Sonic is an eco-terrorist who fights fascism and capitalism and saves animals and the environment. That's literally, like, kind of the story of the Sonic games and some of the better cartoons. Along with also, like, weird, like, magic emeralds, and Super Saiyan stuff. So, there's also that. But for the most part, it's an eco-terrorist about fighting fascism and capitalism. That's literally the story of Sonic. So, and that's why I love it so much. Heart to you. You said, Super Femi, I wish you the happiest holiday season, Jessie. Also, thank you. That is a super generous super chat. Thank you so much, Super Femi. I want to acknowledge that. That is a very, very generous super chat. Thank you so much for that. You said, I wish you the happiest holiday season, Jessie. Finding this community and finding you has been a bright point in my year. Get yourself a merry holiday gift, put it under your jaw. Thank you for Super Femi. That is way too kind. Thank you so much. Mwah. You're lovely. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I have a merry holiday season to you and to everybody. Thank you very much. That is very, very generous. So thank you. And I want to make sure I catch up on these super chats, but thank you, Super Femi. Edward Bedor, heart to you. You said, now hear me out. We introduce new characters and kill off the original Firefly characters one by one. That would not go over well. I am not someone who is precious about stuff like that. Like, I'm fine with killing older characters and, like, things like Luke Skywalker, like, being kind of a depressed mope. I actually found that interesting in The Last Jedi. It was one of the things about The Last Jedi that I did like, was the direction they took Luke Skywalker's character. I know, a controversial statement. I've said that in different live streams before. But going around and just murdering all the characters that people love, It's not a good way to enamor you to new characters. It feels a little bit vicious and cruel, and being like, our stuff's better, which I don't think would go over very well. Again, that's not saying that's necessarily my opinion. I'm always here for like ideas depending on execution. No pun intended there, I guess. But I could already tell you that would, from pretty much all corners, toxic, non-toxic, I feel like that idea would probably go over very badly. I would be in for it. I would be cautiously in for it, but I could see that not going over very well. So there we go. Adrian, thank you so much. Does KOTH drag episode hold up? Do an essay on that. KOTH. What is KOTH? King of the Hill? King of the Hill. Never watched King of the Hill. I've seen like episodes here and there, so I can actually not tell you the case, Adrian, if that's actually true or not. I legitimately have not seen a single. I don't think I've seen a single episode really all the way through. Like I caught bits and pieces of it, but I never watched it. It was never my type of show. That's not a knock against it. I don't know much about it to be able to knock it, but yeah. So. All right, let me see. Am I all caught up? I think I'm all caught up on this. I am all caught up on the chat. So, all right, I need to catch up on the chat. Thank you so much. Apologies if you have any more questions or anything. I think I'm all caught up on Super Chats. If I missed anyone, let me know. Just let me know in the chat. But I'm all caught up, so we can hang out. And I'm here for at least another 15 more minutes. So, Black Cover 95 says, I have some good news and some bad news. Which would you like to hear first? Give me the bad news first so that we can end on good news. I like hearing that. Let me hear Black Cover. King of the Hill. People, apparently there's a lot of King of the Hill fans. I never watched it. Like I said, all I know is like he sells propane and his son's name is Bobby. I think that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's like any more. That's really about all I remember about that show. Yeah, he's like a propane salesman and his son's name is Bobby. And I think that's legitimately all I know. So, should they make a Star Trek Discovery movie? I would like that. What I want... And you would have to do it carefully because it could become way too fan servicey. There are two movies that I would want right now. Well, three. There are three. There are three type of movie pitches that I would want right now. One is I would love a Final Kelvin timeline movie like Chris Pine and crew. I would love to see one more Chris Pine movie. I don't think we need more than one more. I wouldn't like to see the series continue necessarily, but I would like one more movie with that crew to like really put a capstone on them, to be like, this is how their journey ends. Because like right now they just kind of like jumped off into like do new adventures at the end of Beyond, and you can kind of leave them there being like, hey, they're gonna go off and do the Star Trek and seek out new life thing. But I would like one more to be like, this is the end of their 5-year mission, or this is the end of this storyline for them, or like at least, I mean, you don't have to kill them off or anything, but like give us a sense of resolution to them. And I feel like doing a movie that is like their last mission of their 5-year mission, and then sort of imply like the movie stuff happens, like with Khan or anything, or like Wrath of Khan and all that stuff, like imply that stuff like in some shape or form will happen, but overall like give them a good resolution. The second one that Star Trek movie I would like would be like a big crossover event movie. This one would be the most fan servicey one of them all. Like a big like bring back like Patrick Stewart, bring in the Disco crew, bring in some Deep Space Nine Voyager folks, maybe some Enterprise people who can time travel shenanigans, that like DePaul, maybe you could bring her back, because she's old enough to make that justified. And so I would like that big blockbuster, like big crossover Avengers Endgame type of movie. I don't know if that one would work necessarily in theaters, because I feel like it'd be a hard sell to like put that on television, like, or put that like transition like Disco and everyone to like a movie screen in terms of like getting people to care about it, because I feel like they'd have that problem of people feeling like, I haven't watched Discovery, do I really want to watch this movie, am I gonna need to be caught up, do I need to know all the Star Trek stuff? It might be too insular. What it might be good to do with that as like a streaming movie, if they do like a streaming movie version, like they do like a big crossover event that's just like a streaming event. That would be really cool. Like lower budget, get people in on their service sort of thing. I think that would be a good idea for that. And then the third one is I would just like something new, like do something weird in the Star Trek universe. Like all the Star Trek movies tend to be like, here's the Enterprise crew. And I would be like, let's do something different. Like there were some pitches that were going around in Hollywood for a while. Like there was a Starfleet Academy movie that was kind of interesting. There was a Romulan War movie that looked kind of interesting. Like if you hear the pitch for the Romulan War movie, that was actually kind of an interesting idea that I was like, ooh, that would have been a cool movie to do. So like do something different. That's not Enterprise crew doing Enterprise stuff. I mean, as much as I love Enterprise crew doing Enterprise stuff, I love that stuff. But I would like to see something different from a Star Trek movie. Like, do something really out there that's, like, not necessarily, like, Starfleet stuff. So I think that those three are, like, the movie ideas that I would pitch. If someone had me in a room, was like, give me a Kelvin movie, give me a streaming, like, crossover movie, like, with all the different factions, like tie in all the different areas of Star Trek, like maybe bring back some of the cast members before they die, like Avery Brooks if you can get him. I don't know if he'd still be down for that, but like, you know, Cole Meany, you could bring back in Kira. I'm sure you could bring back in, like, bring these characters in for like one more chance to say something. Janeway, things like that. But yeah, we'll see if that actually ever happens. And then like something just really out there. So that's my thought on that. A DS9 reunion movie would be a lot of fun, Knit and Crochet Tiger. And then Black Cover, you did say Black Cover, you can't watch the backlog. I did see that when I was ranting there for a second. So that's unfortunate. Why can't you watch the backlog? Did you find another YouTuber? No, you can't. You must not. Or is it because you're all caught up? I think that's probably the good news, that you can't cover the backlog because you caught up. That's my guess. That's my guess. So I would like to have seen someone. Ray says I would have loved to seen Tarantino's take on Star Trek. I think it would have been terrible. Like there are directors I would have liked more than. See, I'm someone who's like, even if it's a bad idea, I kind of want to see it. Like it would have been so weird to have seen a Tarantino Star Trek movie that I'm kind of here for it. Now there are directors I would actually rather see first. Like I would like to see like the director of the Eternals. I would like to see more women and people of color get to direct Star Trek. Is what I'm like, give the chance to like a woman or a director of color to really like do a Star Trek big budget Star Trek movie. I would rather that over like Tarantino. And don't get me wrong, I think it would be fascinating. I was curious about it. Like if they made the Tarantino movie, I would have been the first one to buy a ticket because I would have been curious to see what it was. But I would rather start to see like more eyes come into the Star Trek franchise. Like you had like Connolly Culpepper. She is one of the big voices of she's one of the big directors on Star Trek currently on television. She directed the Star Trek Picard pilot, and I think she did it. As much as I have reservations about Star Trek Picard, I think Star Trek Picard looked and was directed excellently. I think the directing and look of that show was fantastic, despite my reservations on some of the writing of it. And so I think Connolly Culpepper would be a fantastic person to direct a big budget movie. I think that's what I really kind of want to see a little bit more, is like give me like in true Star Trekian fashion, like give me someone like I forget her name, was it Chloe Zhao, I think was her name. I think the Eternals director would actually be perfect for a Star Trek movie. I think it's Chloe Zhao, but I might be misremembering. Yeah, Chloe Zhao. If I had to sit here and pick anybody to direct a Star Trek movie, I would actually give it to Chloe Zhao. Or the Wachowskis would actually be a good choice too. I think would be an interesting choice. But I think Chloe Zhao, I think, could nail a Star Trek movie. I think that would be a lot of fun. She would just because she's like immediately on my head. I think she would be a perfect fit because, in many ways, like Eternals, I think got a little bit ambitious. It was trying to do a lot. It was trying to be this big globe-trotting epic. But what I think that movie nailed was the ensemble nature and the group nature of that of that story. Like, for all of its faults, Eternals nailed the like found family feel, the feeling of giving each character's distinct personality. And so I feel like they could really nail, I think like Chloe Zhao could really nail that aspect of Star Trek that I always find a lot of joy in. Like you see on Star Trek Discovery, this community feeling that like, yes, we're on a Starfleet crew, there's a hierarchy of command, that sort of thing, but you feel like they're a family. And that's something that I really, the best parts of every single Star Trek show. And I think Star Trek Discovery captures this the most currently, even Lower Decks too. But I think Discovery of all of them really captures that found family starship crew feel. And I would love to see that translated into a movie, because I feel like those are the best aspects of the movies. Like even Insurrection, Star Trek Insurrection is a bad movie. But what makes Insurrection still fun to watch is getting to see the characters interact with each other and bounce off each other. And it's what Star Trek Nemesis really lacked. Like, Star Trek Nemesis, I think, is a worse movie than Insurrection, because even though on paper I think the Nemesis story is actually way more interesting than Insurrection's story. But what makes Nemesis worse than Insurrection, besides the stuff that they do to Troy in that movie, which is awful on its own merit, is that, like, the characters felt, like, cold and distant from each other. And the moments, like, at the wedding scene in that movie is, like, the one scene in Nemesis that really hit home, because it felt like these characters interacting with each other and, like, feeling like a family. But then you have later on in that movie when Data goes to die and he has his, like, scene with Geordi. Geordi doesn't even say anything to him. Geordi and Data were, like, best friends throughout the entirety of the Star Trek, like, series, and Geordi doesn't even say anything to Data, who's about to die. He doesn't even get a final moment with Data. Even in Picard, he doesn't. And so it's like, that's what's missing from that movie. And so I think Chloe Zhao would be a fantastic choice for that's my pitch for someone to direct a Star Trek movie. If I had to pick any director right now, I think she would probably be one of my first choices. I think she would really nail it. I think she would really, really nail it. Edgar Wright, Edward Bedore, heart to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Edward Bedore would be Edward Bedore. You direct the Star Trek movie. Edgar Wright, I think would also be great. I mean, I love Edgar Wright. I've enjoyed Last Night in Soho and Baby Driver and all that stuff. He would also do a fantastic Star Trek movie. I don't know if he's perfect fit for it, but he would definitely do an interesting one. I don't know if I would be my perfect fit for it, but I think he would definitely do an interesting job. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'd rather Edgar Wright do his own. I'm honestly more pleased with Edgar Wright getting to do his own stuff, to be honest with you. Like, honestly, like, as much as I would have been fascinated to see an Edgar Wright Ant-Man movie, I am almost glad that he didn't, because that he wouldn't have had to fit into that Marvel mold. I like that Edgar Wright got to do, like, crazy stuff like Baby Driver. It's like, let me put it this way. As much as I would have liked to see an Edgar Wright Ant-Man, I am happier that I got Baby Driver than I am if I had gotten an Edgar Wright Ant-Man movie, right? That's the trade-off. It's like, if someone said you could have an Edgar Wright Ant-Man movie or you could have Baby Driver, I'd be like, Baby Driver. Give me Baby Driver. Easily. Not even a second. Edward Bedore for next Star Trek movie director. Exactly. Everyone's saying Wachowski sisters. I would be down for the Wachowski sisters. They also have that community feel to them, right? It's something that I think Chloe Zhao and the Wachowskis are actually very close to. Like, both Chloe Zhao and the Wachowskis both have this, like, ensemble cast, finding a more an identity in the group as opposed to, like, one central character sort of feel. That you definitely get. I think Matrix is less that, because you definitely have Neo being the central character. But even then, especially in the Matrix sequels, you do have sort of a very large ensemble cast and that sort of community feeling. And then as you get further into Wachowski's works, like Cloud Atlas or Sense8, again, it becomes much more ensemble feeling. And so I really feel like you could do that. I think that they would be a good fit for Star Trek as well. But I still think Chloe Zhao would be my better pick. Because I feel like her style fits a little bit more. Like, Star Trek has a little bit flatter style than I think the Wachowskis do. Because Wachowskis are kind of, like, more over the top in their style. Like, you watch a Wachowski movie, you're like, you're watching a Wachowski movie. You're like watching, like, I am watching a Wachowski film. Whereas Chloe Zhao, she definitely has a style. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little more subdued and subtle that I think would probably better fit a Star Trek movie, as opposed to, like, I wouldn't necessarily want, like, you know, like the Wachowski sort of, like, stuff going on. As much as I love it, like, don't get me wrong, I love that style. I just don't think it matches Star Trek as perfectly. But, you know, I would still be down to see it. So obviously, Wachowskis are my favorite, like, directors, like, easily. Like, they are my number one directors, and so I know it's weird that I'm arguing against them, but I would prefer one over the other. So there you go. We almost got Edgar Wright directing Star Trek Beyond and co-writing with Simon Pegg. It could have been perfect, but they were in Fast and Furious. Yes, heart to you. But yes, actually, technically, I do think Edgar Wright directed if I'm recalling this correctly, I do believe that Edgar Wright directed a scene in Star Trek Beyond. If I'm wrong, because I think he appeared on set one day. Or no, maybe it was Star Trek 2009. It was Into Darkness, actually. Edgar Wright technically, yeah, that's right. Edgar Wright directed one shot into Star Trek Into Darkness because he visited set one day, and J.J. Abrams said, hey, do you want to direct a scene or direct a shot? So technically, Edgar Wright did direct one shot in Star Trek Into Darkness. Now, I don't know what scene it was. But he did direct 1C, so technically Edgar Wright has already directed Star Trek. Very, very technically. But there you go. Super Femi, your son does have good taste in movies. Hell yes. Hell yes. Baby Driver's a good movie. My only problem with Baby Driver is the woman is trophy trope in that. Like, the woman is very much like the trophy, like, girl that you get at the end of a movie sort of thing. So that's my one problem with Baby Driver, but overall that movie's fantastic. Like Zack Snyder just directed. Oh, no, gosh, no. I mean, I agree with you, Bacasta. I'd be interested to see what a Zack Snyder Star Trek movie would be, but heavens no. Heavens no. Would not be good. Across the Spider-Verse looks amazing. Movie Meister, Across the Spider-Verse, I am so excited for it. Into the Spider-Verse, one of my favorite films of all time. Like, clearly top 10. Probably my favorite superhero movie. If I had to sit down and think about it, it would definitely, at the very least, be in the top 3, without even question. But yeah, no, I would say probably, sorry, like my brain just blanked. But Across the Spider-Verse, like the trailer they released for it looks amazing. Like, I'm here. Miles Morales, easily my favorite Spider-Man. Peter Parker, no shade at him, but Miles Morales is just amazing. Wellington, thank you very much. I do need to check the time because it is 7 o'clock and I'm going to have to go because I have to go to my improv class. But KJ Zana, hard to you. I'm going to just give you the last super chat of the night. You said La La Land came out in theaters 5 years ago today. So thank you for making me feel very old. Time inexorably moves forward and we shall all be dead eventually. Oh gosh, dark. But oh good, well good. You haven't caught up, Black Cover. Good, I'm glad. But yes, I do have to head out. Couple quick announcements. I'm gonna make this really quick because I'm gonna be late to improv class if I don't get out of here soon. Video is going up tomorrow. It is a surprise video. It is going to be on J.K. Rowling, because of course. But I want to talk about some stuff that frustrated with me about her lately. But also the reason that I'm doing that video is because I know the video will do well in the algorithm, sadly. Stuff like that about J.K. Rowling is sadly does well in the algorithm, and the reason I'm doing that is because I want to actually promote a video that I am really, really proud of coming out next Friday. My Sex and Star Trek video is done. It is uploaded to YouTube. It'll be available for patrons on Saturday, so if you're a patron of mine, you're going to get the video early. It is literally 2.5 hours. I'm so freaking excited about it. It's going to be amazing. Legitimately, I cannot tell you, I am so proud of this Sex and Star Trek video. It is a literal movie. I got so many awesome people to contribute to it. There's if you're a fan of YouTube personalities, I got people in there. I think it legitimately might be one of my favorite videos of all time that I've ever done. It's not my most personal video. I have other ones like the Earthsea video that are more personal, but I think this is one that I think just I think it just levels up my production value and my research level and things like that, and I'm so excited about it. And I'm hopefully able to platform other people within it as well. So I'm very, very excited about it. It's over 2 hours, as Jedi Indiana Jones. 2 hours and 45 minutes is the length of it. It's going to be premiering next Friday at 10 a.m. So Friday, December 17th, 10 a.m. Pacific time, there will be a live chat premiere for the full 2 hours, 45 minutes. You can join me for that. So video tomorrow on J.K. Rowling, video next week on Sex and Star Trek. That'll be the big one. Patrons will get that video on Saturday. So if you're a patron, look for it then. What else? Oh, we're going to be playing Halo Infinite on Saturday, so be prepared for that. I'm going to get drunk, and our Saturday night streaming is going to be Halo Infinite, so look forward to that. So I'll see you all tomorrow for the J.K. Rowling video, and then Saturday for the Halo Infinite live stream, and then in just 1 week, the Sex and Star Trek video. So all of it's going to be fun. It's going to be amazing. I am very excited for you all to watch it, and with that being said, I'm going to give a heart to you. I love you all. Mwah. Sending you all love, and I will wish you well, and I'm going to go do improv and be a weirdo on stage. So mwah. And heart to you, Edward Bedor. Yes, we will do Path of Neo at some point. Thank you so much for the super chat. Have a good night, everyone. Mwah, mwah.